Hello, hello. Happy Monday. I am here, Anggie Watkins, your extreme encourager. Want to do something different. Want to make sure I can share what I'm doing on my own personal page today to make sure I'm sharing my Go Live notification. One moment. Awesome, awesome. I'm just going to share this on my page. Cool. How about that? So, I am talking today about you being a talented talker. So sometimes, if you're applying for a job or you need to talk about what you do so you can actually get paid for something, or just you're up for an award, you're doing an assessment, and, as long as you're in the room and you can talk, you believe, I'll be fine. Just get me in there. Once they talk to me, I can, you can ace interviews, you have the gift of gab, whatever. You can talk your way out of anything, into anything, persuasive, everything. So you're a talented talker. But sometimes when it comes to the writing part, you get a little, I don't like that. I'm not good at that. You panic, or you're sitting there and was like, look, get somebody else to write it. Once I'm there, I can just shine. I can talk to you, persuade you, anything underneath the sun, whatever it is, I got it. But sometimes one of the things you need to do is simply write it. You don't always have a form for talking to somebody. They don't have time. You need to just put your information in writing, black and white, so they can have time to absorb. Everybody is not able to just listen right then and there, right when you need to talk about how great you are. And one of the other things is when you're working on, again, for your resume, you have to give them something in writing usually first before you even get to a position to talk. So even if you're networking with other people and they put in a good word for you, and they want you to meet someone and talk with them or whatever, you might be provided with writing samples, especially in your federal workspace, or just something to show that you have a cohesive process and you can actually string some words together, outside of the gift for gab. So I want to provide, 5 methods or tips or whatever to help. If you are a talented talker, here's how you can help yourself translate that stuff to paper, to write about it for yourself, so you can represent yourself to the best of your ability. Because no matter what I talk about, it always comes down to make sure you can showcase yourself, you realize how awesome you are, and you can get compensated for what you bring to the table. Those are the main things. Just so you can appreciate yourself in any state, any form, any fashion, in any arena. So I want to jump right into the fact that some of the stuff about being a talented talker and translating that to paper, not to insult you, but just write how you talk. That's tip number 1, right off the bat. Stop stressing. Stop thinking you have to be this most prosaic writer, this winsome person with words. If you talk it, write it. Capture your thought. I'm not trying to be insulting, but sometimes it's just that simple. You're making it too hard. We're thinking about, if you're thinking about, let's put a perfect example is an email. So, perfect. So think about an email and think about when you're angry and you cannot send that angry email because somebody's going to come up and like, look, see what they said? It's all in black and white. They're going to come get you. So here's the thing. Think of it as an angry email. Get all your thoughts out. They're like, I told you, everything. Get all your thoughts, your concepts, everything, at least out in writing, there for you to see. Do not hit send. For example, use an email as an example for the writing bit. So you don't hit send. You take your time and you stop and you look at it. You read it. You're upset. You're not going to send that. And you edit. So then you edit everything that you've had in there in a logical way. These are your tips for how you turn your translated talk, your talented talking into writing. You're going to get everything down. You want to write it how you would talk it, first and foremost. Now, if you have your ideas and your thoughts down, you want to go through and edit it. You want to organize it. So you have all the things you have. It's like you, and when you're writing the first time around, don't edit. I know it's hard not to do that, but don't, because you're censoring yourself. You're like, nah, don't like, nah. You're not editing and when you're talking. You don't have time to edit. You may, revisit a topic or clarify something that you know that there wasn't spoken clearly, but you don't sit there and say, oh, let me back that up and say, no, write it how you talk it. Then you edit and clarify, because now you have time in this situation. You want to proof it, for syntax. Look at the spell check. Read it out loud. Make sure it's good. So these are the first couple of tips. 1, write it in how you talk it. 2, you want to proof it. 3, you want to organize it to make sure you have a logical progression of your concepts so it makes sense to you. 4, have someone, I'm sorry, that's 3. 3, have someone have another set of eyes for you. So if you don't trust always how you write, have someone else proof it for you. That way you have another set of opinions that can, give you some insight. And that way, you get another set of eyes, especially if you don't trust your spelling, you don't trust spell checker, because sometimes the 2 and the T-O and the T-O-O just don't always gel correctly, and you want someone else to have this extra set of eyes. So number 4, whether you have another set of eyes or not, leave it for a minute, 15 minutes. Go away from whatever you're writing so that you come away fresh. Go do something else. Go do another task. Just get away from it for a little bit. And then 5, come back fresh and reread it. Is it still logical? Does it still have your voice? Does it still have your syntax and your personality in it? Nothing says, see, this is one thing, this is a big mistake sometimes people make. There's nothing wrong with your writing conveying your personality. If you are quick and point to the point and maybe sarcastic or humorous or whatever, keep it in your writing, in your general writing. Now, when it comes to your resume information, you know what? Make sure your stuff is set for the audience that it's there for. If you're doing the federal type of thing, you're going to be in a narrative format, but be informative. If you're doing corporate, be short and sweet and succinct, but still be informative. But you can still have a rhythm to your writing regardless of what you're doing. If you're putting yourself in for an award, be informative, show your personality, do your thing, but your writing does not have to be stale, stagnant, and boring necessarily to get what you need to get done. So if you talk and you are basically a shining light and you can dazzle people with words and things like that, and you know your vernacular, you know when you speak, put it down in writing. Nothing says your verbal finesse has to disappear when you start putting it on paper. People want to know if you can bring forth your personality on paper, especially if you're doing a job where you're going to be doing a lot of writing. You can still be informative and humorous. Again, it depends on your audience, but for the first and foremost type of thing, if you are a talented talker, you can take your talent to the paper and have your personality and your influence and everything else still be conveyed in black and white. So I'm going to recap. So if you have a talent for talking, but you still kind of get, maybe crazy when it comes to your resume, or when you need to write up stuff about your self-assessment and your appraisal information, however you would say it, write it, first and foremost. After you get that down, you edit and organize it. That's number 2. 3, you proof it. 4, you get another set of eyes. And or you go away. And then 5, reread everything before you send it to anybody. So this is Angie, your Extreme Encourager. Those are the tips, 5 for 5 for talent, talker, and then putting in writing. Also, please know I will be sharing more information about a 5-day challenge that's coming up February 26th. I'll make sure everyone can register by Saturday the 24th. So we're going to be spending 5 days. I will be spending 5 days to walk you through in the Facebook group in a challenge of how you can take at least either one or 4 tips that are currently in your resume and make sure they shine. So if you are ever wondering about what to say in your resume, you want to join me for this challenge. I'm going to be working in a group with people, and the first 10 people who actually start and register, I'm going to make sure I share it this week. The first 10 people, after the challenge is over, I will be making sure we have time to consult and do a deeper dive into maybe your first position that you're talking about, so we can actually craft some things a lot better. So until then, but again, keep your eye out on the contest. I'll be running it via Facebook. If you're a talented talker, you can be just as talented when you write. Convey your personality on paper just as well as you do person to person. So, this is Anggie Watkins, Live at 5, your extreme encourager, and I will see you next time, which will be next Monday. All right. Talk to you soon. Have a great week. Bye for now.